This is absolutely huge, huge news. If you're a wrestling fan, it's even bigger news for you. But this is huge news when it comes to streaming services and in the future of streaming as well. Just today, it broke that WWE Raw is going to be going to Netflix. Starting in January 2025, Netflix will exclusively stream WWE Raw in US, Canada, UK, Latin America every single week all year long. It is, from all accounts, it is a 10-year deal worth like $5 billion or something crazy. Triple H, WWE shared, Triple H has talked about it, breaking new ground, and he's thrilled to bring Raw to Netflix. It is a huge, huge deal. But why is this such a big deal? First off, it's great for wrestling because it is going to be USA's been great for WWE for quite some time. They've been a partner with them for a long while, but there's been a lot of issues over the last few years when it comes to content. They've been wanting to push the bar again and maybe making it a little more edgier with bringing blood back and different things in that regard, making it a little more adult heavy content. Then it was like, after 9 o'clock you can do that. Netflix will pretty much give them the ability to have freedom to do what they want. Netflix will give them a lot more freedom to do that kind of stuff. And they're going to see a partnership open up with Netflix that when their deal with Peacock comes to an end with their premium live content, which is like their pay-per-views, we could very well see that also go over to Netflix. We'll see how this all plays out in the next couple years, of course. But here's the thing. Here's where things start to really get interesting. And it's not so much from a wrestling standpoint. It's from this streamer standpoint. It's from a streaming standpoint. Look, Netflix has been trying to get into this live entertainment gig for quite some time. They were pushing hard to get NFL Sunday Ticket over there. They've been pushing hard to get the Sunday games, the Thursday games, all that kind of stuff. They've been trying to get live sporting events in their repertoire, in their catalog in some form or fashion. And they just haven't been able to do it. But this is a great stepping stone for them because Raw is great. Raw for the next 10 years is going to start bringing in a small base. And this is a great test for them to see how they can handle that. You see, the streaming wars that have been going on for the last couple of years has really taken an interesting turn. Because at one time we thought that all of these studios were going to have their own streaming services, and we were all going to have to subscribe to each one. Disney, Universal, Paramount, and HBO or Warner Brothers. We thought we were going to have each one, and honestly, a lot of us did do that. But what's becoming more apparent is these studios, they're just not able to keep up with the amount of content that they need to keep it up and running, make the money that they need from it to keep them up and running either. Whether it's because due to the lack of ads, due to the lack of whatever it is. So they've been really looking for new ways to be successful. And the cable way is shifting. Cable television is shifting. And streaming is going to become the new cable. We're going to start seeing packages being built in streamers. And I think this isn't the first shoe to drop. I think we've been seeing it, with Sunday Ticket. Where did that go to? Did that go to Amazon or Hulu? I don't remember who it went to. But we're seeing these things start to fall in line with different big streamers. And Amazon's a big one. You're going to see these players, specifically the ones that have been around for a while, start to grab hold. And we're going to see partnerships. We're going to see mergers. And we're going to see buyouts. And what that's going to be is you're going to see companies who you wouldn't think partnering up together. You might see Apple and Paramount teaming up. You might see Disney and Apple and Paramount teaming up, creating their own little section, and then it might be like $40 a month for that. And then you might have to go over here and get Netflix and Universal and whatever else, Warner Brothers or whatever it is, and that's $40 a month. And it's going to be basically sects of these little conglomerates of streaming services. That is where things are starting to head, because having all of these one-off little streamers is not going to be successful for the long term for these studios. And they know that, and they're trying to find ways to be successful and make money, because they know that people want streaming now. Having the ability to just pick up a controller, pick up something, and just go on and watch something at the push of a button, that's what people want today. You can't do that with cable. On demand doesn't work like it used to. That was kind of the stepping stone to streaming, was on demand. So you had cable, then you had on demand, now you have streaming. And that's kind of where everything is headed. And I think Netflix took a big step here. And I think, people are freaking out that, oh, now I have to get it. Well, who doesn't have Netflix at this point in time? Everybody has Netflix. And if you don't have Netflix, if you're a wrestling fan, you're going to get Netflix. It's just that simple. And don't think this is where it's going to stop. Don't think that if you get Netflix, I'm not going to get Netflix just for Raw. No, keep watching, because Netflix, Raw's just the first one. They may get some other sporting leagues. They may get basketball. They may get MLS. They may get NHL. They may get NBA. They may start getting things like that. Once they can see that they can do something like Raw, they will start adding to their library. Start looking at live content. I do hope they don't try to get into the news game, but I know a lot of places, that's where a lot of the money is for studios these days is news. I hope they don't do that, but this is huge news. Or this is huge news. This is huge. Not just from a wrestling standpoint, but from a streamer standpoint. I think people don't understand that. I think people are looking at it in such a small way that it's just, oh, this is just a wrestling thing. No, this is pretty big. This news was huge today, and people aren't looking at it that way, and it really is. I think this is really big. I was having a discussion with somebody on Twitter literally last night about streamers and about where things are going with the streaming services. Exactly that. How we're going to start seeing companies merge with one another. You're going to see studios, and it's already started. We're starting to see these studios merge. We saw Fox and Disney. We saw Warner Brothers Discovery. We're probably going to see Universal and another company. We see Warner Brothers probably merging or selling off or merging with somebody at some point in time. Disney is probably going to try and gobble up some more people. Apple's probably going to get in the game and looking to gobble up some people. As these studios go from many to fewer, and these streaming services will do the same. And that's when we're going to start to see these bigger streaming bundles come into play. And it's going to be interesting. It really is. And it's going to be, this one's going to have wrestling and hockey. This one's going to have football and baseball. This one's going to, and that's how they're going to market it. And it's an interesting concept, but it's coming. But let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. With all that said, everybody, I will catch you all later.